Hi everybody, it's Richard here again and welcome to another video. Now this time I'm going to look at the extra tracks that featured on the David Bowie albums, the RCA albums, whenever they were reissued at the start of the 1990s by Ryko in America and EMI in the UK. Now the big thing about this is that these were the first Bowie CDs I ever bought, because I only got a CD player in 1990 or 1991 actually, and the RCA ones had been released in the mid-80s, so I had no interest in them whatsoever, and they were very soon deleted and are quite rare now. But these were great at the time because they all had bonus tracks, apart from two. Aladdin Sane didn't, for some reason. I don't understand why, because All the Young Dudes should have been put on that. And Ziggy Stardust, the motion picture, the live album, which was originally released in 1983 from the 73 concert, didn't have any bonus tracks either. So I started picking these up as soon as I got a CD player, and back then my thoughts were different to what they are now. I would have preferred them now to have been on a separate CD, for example a double CD. First CD the album, second CD the bonus tracks, even if it was only one song. Queen did it really well for their 2011 reissues, where they had the album plus the bonus tracks on a separate disc. So there was actually 40 bonus tracks that were added on to these albums. Some of them were completely unreleased tracks, some were remixes, there was demos, there was B-sides, there was the odd non-album A-side. So rather than go through the 40, I've picked out my favourite 20, but I will mention a few before I start going through the 20. And Space Oddity from Scary Monsters, the stripped back Kenny Everett version, is very good as well. It just failed to make it. The two Arnold Corns tracks, Hang On To Yourself and Moon Age Daydream, made it on to The Man Who Sold the World. Abdul Majid, which is an instrumental. Obviously it wasn't called that because that was the name of Bowie's wife Iman, so he obviously retitled it in 1990. Panic in Detroit 1979 version, which is okay. It's nowhere near the same as, or as good as, the 73 version and the Alabama Song, which features in two. There's a live version on stage, and then the single version was put on to Scary Monsters. So going through the 20 here, and at number 20, from Pinups, it's his version of Growing Up, the Bruce Springsteen song from Springsteen's first album. Yeah, it's really good. It actually sounds a bit Springsteen as well. The actual backing of it has got a very Bruce Springsteen sound to it. I didn't know that this song had existed at all until I bought this CD. So yeah, it's a decent song. He also does It's Hard to Be a Saint in the City, which featured on the Sound and Vision box set, and I think that was recorded maybe a year or two later. So that's my number 20, and I'm sticking with this for number 19, and it's Amsterdam, the Jack Brel song. Yeah, he performed this live quite a few times for radio sessions back in the early 70s. Purely acoustic, and it's just pretty good song. Never been my favourite, but I've always enjoyed it, and it was originally supposed to have been included on Ziggy Stardust. Okay, number 18, and I'm going to give it to the Superman from Hunky Dory. I know that sounds weird, but it is. It's the acoustic version, like the Glastonbury Fair version. I like it. I do prefer the more bombastic version on the actual Man Who Sold the World album, but this is good to hear as well, and it's good to get a very, very clean copy. So that gets my number 18. At number 17, and we have from Low the instrumental track All Saints. Now in the it's actually the year 2000 or 2001, there was an album came out called All Saints, which featured all instrumental versions. This is good. It's a shortened song. It wouldn't have fit too well on side 2 because those are quite long pieces, but it's a decent enough number. But again, it's ambient music, but I really do enjoy it, so that gets number 17. At number 16, and this is an odd one, and it's from Lodger, and it's called I Pray Olay. I don't think this has been released ever since, and it doesn't actually sound from as if it was originally from Lodger, even though it says previously unreleased track recorded in 1979. I think it actually fits a little bit better on Scary Monsters, but it's a decent enough song. It's nothing spectacular, but I still do enjoy it. Now, the thing that annoys me about this CD and a lot of Bowie Lodger CDs is that this is actually the back cover. They make it the front cover. It is not. The front cover is actually that, but if you put that, all the writing's upside down, so it has to go as the back. But anyway, that's number 16. And at number 15 from Low again, we get Some Are. Now this is another ambient instrumental with a little bit of vocals in it, which you can't really decipher what he's singing, a little bit like Warzawa. But yeah, it's decent, and it's a nice added bonus to Low, although as I said before, I would have preferred it on a separate CD. Okay, number 14, and this is where they made a complete hash, and it's from The Man Who Sold the World, and it's Holy Holy, and they say that this is the original version. It's not. It's the re-recorded Ziggy version, which was recorded in '72 and later featured on the B-side of Diamond Dogs. I would have preferred to have heard the actual original version, even though the people that were backing them was actually Blue Mink. It was the Blue Mink band rather than the Spiders, even though the Spiders hadn't really started, more or less the Spiders, apart from Trevor Bolder. But yeah, it's a good song, but I still always prefer the original version, and especially the 2021 or 2020 remix, which came out on the With the Circle box set. Okay, number 13, and this is probably the most, the one I was looking forward to hearing the most, and this is from Hunky Dory, and it's Bombers. Now, Bombers was originally supposed to have opened side 2 on this album, but he chose Fill Your Heart by Tim Rose instead. Whenever I first heard Bombers, I thought, oh, why on earth did they not release it? But now I realise they picked the right one, because Fill Your Heart is a better song. Bombers is okay, but it's too in your face, but it's still not bad, and so that gets my number 13. Number 12, and a weird one from Diamond Dogs, and it's Candidate Demo. Now this is nothing like the Candidate that you find on the album. This is a Plinky Plunky type song. It's good, a lot of people love this. I really like it, but it just would not fit on this album. Whenever the 30th anniversary of this came out in 2004, this track was on it, but they renamed it Candidate Alternate Version. So yeah, it's a good song, but it just would not have fit on Diamond Dogs. Still enjoy it though. And at number 11, and this is actually a single, and it's Memory of a Free Festival Part 1, and this failed miserably. It's like a remixing of the track Memory of a Free Festival from the album. In fact, the song is split in two, and the second part is used as the B-side. There's added guitars by Mick Ronson, the first time Mick Ronson appears on a Bowie album, and it's a very, very good song, but it's completely forgotten about as a single. Okay, at number 10, I'm going to go with a single in Japan, and it was a B-side over here, and it's Crystal Japan, the instrumental. It's absolutely beautiful, it's haunting. It was the B-side of Up the Hill Backwards, and it's gorgeous. I've always liked it. Brilliant, brilliant track. So it gets my number 10. At number 9, and we have John I'm Only Dancing, and they label this as the B-side version, and for once they get it right, because that is exactly what it is. This is not the same as the single, and it's not the same as the sax version. It actually sounds like the single, but it's speeded up, but it doesn't have the sax in it. And it came out as the B-side of John I'm Only Dancing Again in 1979. And this could be my favourite of those three. although I do like the sax version as well. But yeah, this is really, really good, and this gets my number 9. At number 8, and we go with Diamond Dogs again, and it's the song Dodo, recorded in 1973. There's a version of this known as You Didn't Hear It From Me, mixed with 1984, which is very good, and it came out on the 40th anniversary box set. Good song, but doesn't fit on the album, and quite rightly so, was left off. And I believe Lulu sang this as well, or she demoed it. But yeah, that gets my number 8. At number 7, and we have from Young Americans, and it's John I'm Only Dancing Again, which was a single in '79. This is the full length version, which is over 7 minutes long, and it's absolutely wonderful. It was originally supposed to be on this album, it was supposed to open it up, but there's a couple of tracks dropped, and when John Lennon came along with Fame and Across the Universe, but there's 2 more tracks to feature in this top 10, so John I'm Only Dancing Again gets my number 7. Put that one there. And number 6 from Ziggy, we have Sweet Head, which is a very, very good song. The lyrics are quite suggestive, as you can imagine, but it's a really good rocker. Now, I don't know why this never got on. Maybe they think it sounds a little bit like Moonage Daydream or one of the other songs like Hang On To Yourself, but I still think it's magnificent and could have been on the album. I probably would have had it on the album, but it gets my number 6. At number 5, I'm going to go back to Young Americans, and it is Who Can I Be Now? Now this here, the title of this lent itself to the second box set released of his RCA material, now owned by Parlophone. I think it was 2016. This is a real big sax driven number. This would have been on the album if it hadn't been for the meet up with John Lennon. Absolutely magnificent song, and I keep saying that Young Americans would have made a fantastic double album, because the outtakes at the time, people would have screamed out for them. They were absolutely top drawer, so a brilliant double album could have been, but it wasn't. So Who Can I Be Now is number 5. At number 4, I'm going to go to Space Oddity, and it's the track Conversation Piece, which was the B-side of The Prettiest Star, which itself is not on this, and I think the reason for that is it was on the box set released by Ryko called Sound and Vision, which was a 3 CD 5 LP box set. But Conversation Piece is a magnificent track. It's one of it's a brilliant song. Should have been on the album, and in fact whenever Tony Visconti remixed the album a couple of years ago, he added it to the album, not as the last song, but as about the 3rd song into side 2, and it works really, really well. So Conversation Piece gets my number 4. Number 3, and it's a live version, and it's the song Here Today Gone Tomorrow from David Live, and this is a song by the Ohio Players, I think you call them. I just think it's a fantastic song, absolutely fantastic, and his vocals are great. And I think this was one of the songs that he recorded, maybe not actually in concert, but you know, in the, not the studio, but the mobile unit or whatever it was. But it's really, really good. And so that's Here Today Gone Tomorrow from David Live. And number 2, I'm going to pick from Ziggy Stardust, and it is Velvet Goldmine. Now this came out as a B-side in 1975, the B-side of Space Oddity, along with Changes. Got to number 1 in the UK charts. This is catchy as hell. This should have been on the album, and it would have fit perfectly coming after Starman. I would have dropped It Ain't Easy. So Velvet Goldmine gets my number 2. And my favourite of all the Ryko bonus tracks, and I did my top 20 LP tracks by David Bowie, well, it must be a few months back, and this was in the top 10, and it's from Young Americans, and it's Gonna Be Me, and this also should have been on the album. Absolutely brilliant song. His vocals are really good. It's a real slow burning song, really soulful, and as I say, the extra tracks or the outtakes from these sessions were just immense. This gets my number 1. Okay, so that's my look at my favourite 20 of the Ryko bonus tracks. The albums actually did come out in vinyl at the start. I think the vinyl editions went up to about Station to Station. Ryko got it right at the start. They actually released them as double albums, with the bonus tracks all on an extra album, but the EMI Sound and Vision made a complete botch. They actually added them on, so to have Hunky Dory start side 2 with Song for Bob Dylan, it's just not right. Even though I believe from Pinups onwards Ryko then followed the way that we did it in the UK, it just destroys the integrity of the album. But anyway, that's my 20 favourite Ryko extras. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope to have another video quite soon. All the best now. Bye bye.